Welcome back, and we are at episode number 7. And today we're going to talk about the things that I and other massage therapists wish they would have known before they went to massage school and got into the massage field. Let's dive in. There are going to be 4 main categories here, and then I have a bunch of subtopics, so listen up. And if you're thinking about going to massage school, number 1 is going to be the most important for you. And that is the biggest reason why people go to massage school is because they want to help others. A lot of massage therapists are people who used to go up and rub people's necks at parties or rub their backs or try to stretch them out because they truly want to make people feel better. That's a great reason to go to massage school. The worst reason to go to massage school is because you saw a big billboard up by I-75 that said, you can make $1 billion an hour, slight exaggeration, as a massage therapist. Join massage school now. They used to have those billboards back when I was in massage school. They said, you can make $60 an hour as a massage therapist back in 1997. And I know a lot of people who went to massage school because they thought they were going to make $60 an hour. Like that was going to be their hourly rate, $60 an hour times 40 hours a week. That, friend, is not the way it works. So if you're thinking about going to massage school and you think you're going to make $60 or $70 or $80 or $100 an hour and you're going to get to keep all that money, you are sadly mistaken. One of the big problems that was going on in the massage school industry for a while was that people were going to school because of the money. And the schools, because they were receiving government grants, were forced to pass the client. So even if the students didn't do their work properly or they did not have passing grades, the instructors were, we'll say, strongly encouraged to pass them so that they would pass the massage therapy program. But then when it came time to take the NBLEX or whatever the state licensing exam was, they couldn't pass. Those are all the wrong kinds of people to go to massage school. If you want to go to massage school to help other people, then yes, you're in the right place. And that's a great place to start. So now we can move forward. Here's one of the biggest things that I did not know when I went into massage school was that it's really hard. It's really hard. In my class, we had, I think, 60 people starting out, which is a huge class. We ended up with about 30 or 32 people graduating from my class. Because I had a bachelor's degree, the school told me that I could go into the accelerated program, which was 2 days a week from, I think, 8 to 5 for, I don't know how many months, 10 months maybe. And I thought, I cannot do that. I have not been in school for 10 years. And that's going to be way too much for me, especially with a full-time job. So I chose to do the typical program, which was an 18-month program, really took about 20 months. And thank goodness for that, because I thought, it's massage school. How hard could it be? I have a bachelor's degree. Wah, wah. College does not necessarily prepare you for massage school. It is so heavily deep into it. I was going to say anesthesiology, not that. Kinesiology and physiology and anatomy. Like, you learn words that you didn't know were possible. One of my favorite words was oligodendrocyte. I don't even remember what that means. What I do know is that the bigger the word, usually the shorter the thing is, the smaller the thing is in the human body. So imagine my surprise when I started massage school and my first homework was from this book called The Principles of Manual Medicine. It's for chiropractors. Now, keep in mind, I had no anatomical background going into massage school, as was the case for most of the people that I went to school with, except for the number of nurses. They had some anatomical background. This is the first thing that I read when I went to massage school. This is my homework on the first night. This is in The Principles of Manual Medicine, and here's one of the categories that I had highlighted. And I can barely read it because the tears of my eyeballs smeared the words, because this was incredibly painful for me. The musculoskeletal system not only comprises over 60% of the human organism, but it is also a major expender of body energy. Any increase in activity of the musculoskeletal system calls upon the internal viscera to develop and deliver energy to sustain the physical activity. Now, if you're a massage therapist, that totally makes sense. If you have a bachelor's degree in theater and film with a minor in business, that will make you weep. So understand, if you do not have science background, massage is going to be very difficult for you. One of the things that I learned that was incredibly helpful was I went back to the days when I was in high school. I had actually 2 years of Latin when I was in high school, and I made a dictionary of all of the Latin and Greek terms that were in all of the words. Literally, I went through my entire Totoro and Grabowski 3 billion page book on anatomy and physiology, and I made a list of all of the words that would help me understand what something was. So, for instance, itis means inflammation of. So if you have osteoarthritis and you know itis means inflammation of and osteo means bone, then you know that osteoarthritis means inflammation of the bone area. That is one of the biggest ways to pass massage school, I think. And understand you are going to spend so much time studying anatomy and physiology and things you don't need to know, like the intrinsic muscles of the eyeballs or the Krebs cycle. Do you need to know about that for massage? Probably not. However, your school is teaching you to pass the NBLEX or whatever massage licensing exam you have, and so you are going to learn a lot of things. So if you're thinking about going to massage school or you're in massage school right now, be prepared to spend a lot of time doing homework. The biggest trouble I had in massage school was the things that I couldn't see. The muscles, the bones, those made sense to me. But things like the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic nervous system, head explosion, I didn't get it. So I would definitely recommend when you're going to massage school to have a study buddy or 2 study buddies and to understand how you learn the best. If you learn the best by drawing, by doodling, by rewriting every single word in your anatomy book, then do that. If you learn best by teaching other people, make flashcards and teach someone about it. Teach your kids about it. Teach your spouse about it. Teach anybody who will listen, or just talk to your plant. Explain things to people, because a lot of times when you say the words out loud, it helps cement it in your brain. Or maybe you understand more by doing. Maybe you need to learn that the origins and insertions of the bicep muscle, you look at the pictures in the book, maybe the Trail Guide to Anatomy or whatever book you're using. Look, move your arms around, understand how you learn, and that will make all of the difference. And try a variety of things to help you learn better when you're in massage school. So that was number 2. There's a lot to learn, and figure out what your learning styles are. Okay, so massage school does a really great job of teaching you how to be a good massage therapist, but what they don't teach you is how to be a good business person. So if they offer any classes, make sure that you take them. My school offered 1 weekend seminar, which I think was helpful, but this was back in the late 90s, so their method of making flyers and putting them on people's windshields at the grocery store was not really necessary solid marketing. Because you learned how to pass your NBLEX or your state licensing exam, that does not mean that you're going to be good as a business person. So I would recommend that you take any business classes that you can, that you find a mentor to work with you, find somebody locally or someone who is willing to work with you virtually so that you can get your business up and growing. Income and hourly pay is way less than you expect it to be. So most massage therapists cannot jump out of massage school and go right into their own thriving practice. Most massage therapists need to work for somebody else first for a couple of reasons. When I first started out, I started at a very busy day spa. This gave me great advantage in that I learned how to work on a lot of people at one time. The first day I worked, I did 5 hours of massage in one day. I looked like a T-Rex afterwards because I was so sore. I'd never done more than 2 hours of massage in one day. So that was a very great learning experience. I learned that I did not want to work like that in a fast food type of massage industry. I also worked for a chiropractor. I loved working for the chiropractor because he would show me MRIs and x-rays, and I understood anatomy and physiology a lot more. Well, maybe not the physiology, but I learned to understand the anatomy and how it all connects. So take advantage of the fact that somebody is willing to hire you and get people on the table. You're going to learn more of what type of people you like to work with and what type of people you don't like to work with. When I was in school, I was convinced that I was going to do outcalls. That way I wouldn't have the expense to start off with having my own practice. Well, the very first outcall I did which was to a guy who I had worked on doing chair massage. At one time, I was doing massage at his house, and he completely exposed himself to me. My very first out call. So, just because you pick something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good fit. So, by the way, kids, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, it did happen. Okay. Let's go on to the next point, shall we? Marketing and business skills are equally as important as your massage skills are. So you need to know who you're marketing towards, what kind of person is your ideal person, otherwise known in the business world as an avatar. Do you want to work on business people? Do you want to work on athletes? Do you want to work on prenatal women? Do you want to work on postpartum women? Do you want to work on people who have undergone surgery and need to have post-operative care? What is the type of person that you want to work on and you're going to want to market to those people? Scheduling. If you're the type of person that loves a consistent schedule, you might not want to consider being in the massage industry field unless you can find a place that will hire you for the hours that you want. When you first start out, you're probably going to be working evenings, you're probably going to be working weekends. If you're a ding-dong who is like I was, and like a lot of massage therapists I know, you're going to take every single client at every desperate last moment you have, and that is not a good way to build a business. Scheduling, like I said, involves evenings, weekends. You need to set boundaries. They're incredibly important for you, especially as you're building your own practice. And the kind of boundaries that I learned about in massage school were more like how to respond to somebody who had inappropriate requests, but there are so many more boundaries that you need to know as a massage therapist, such as the hours that you keep, the days that you're willing to work. Are you willing to do emergency massages, same-day massages? Those are the types of things that once you create a policy, you'll need to understand boundaries so that you can stick to it, because that will make your life so much better. And I've learned most of this the really hard way, by the way. And that leads us into the fourth category, which is boundaries and burnout. Burnout, friend, is very possible. It's very likely. The statistics vary from the sources that you read. I've read that most massage therapists lasted in the careers about 3 to 5 years. Some of them make it 5 to 7 years. I've been doing massage as my primary source of income for almost 25 years, which is very unusual. I'm always surprised when I have somebody in one of my continuing ed classes who's been doing massage for a long time. I'm so happy about it, but there comes with that a lot of knowledge and mistakes. So understand that you need to take care of yourself, and that's why boundaries are especially important. Self-care is critical. You need to have strong empathy for a person, but you also need to be able to stick up for yourself when it comes to your hours, your cancellation policies, or whatever else that you need to encounter to keep your own self mentally and physically healthy. Self-care boundaries and exercise are essential to cope with the demands and to avoid burnout of massage. I don't know how many massage schools teach you this, but you really become a therapist of sorts for a lot of people. I've had so many people tell me problems and explain what they're going through because they know it's confidential, and I think this is way over my limit as what I can handle as a massage therapist. I am not prepared to be your counselor, your psychologist, psychiatrist, your mental health agent. I am not prepared for that. And it's good that people are willing and comfortable to speak to you as a massage therapist, but as a massage therapist, you need to be able to keep your space and understand that you cannot absorb other people's issues, because if you do, you're going to have a very hard life as a massage therapist, and all that time that you spent in school is going to be for naught because you're going to be too burned out to be able to do massage. And lastly, continuing education is essential to keep your skills sharp and to expand your opportunities. Just because you think you're going to love one thing does not mean that's the thing that you need to stick with. I went to school because I thought craniosacral massage was awesome. I really went to school for craniosacral. What do I specialize in now? Barefoot massage. And I also do some cupping. I do stretching. That is not craniosacral at all. But you don't know what you don't know until you take other classes. So continuing education is not only beneficial to help you improve your body mechanics, to help you look at clients and their problems in a new way, but it's going to help keep you fresh, keep your body moving better and in different ways, and help prevent burnout. So friend, those are the things that you need to think of if you're in massage school or you're thinking about going to school. You need to know that, again, you're not going to school for the money. Can you make money? Yes, but that is not the primary reason you go to massage school. You need to know that you're going to study really hard and you're probably going to shed some tears, and that's okay, and that's normal. You need to know that they're not going to teach you more about business than you need to know. They're probably not going to teach you enough about business, because most massage therapists who are teaching don't have their own full-time practices. They're teaching because they can't do massage full-time anymore. I know, I said it. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but I think that's actually the case. And lastly, burnout is quite possible, and you need to keep your boundaries intact. You're the one who decides what your boundaries are, and you need to stick with them. So that's it for episode 7 of What to Expect when you go into massage school or the massage industry. And if you love this episode, please share it with somebody, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.